Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about something profoundly important, but often overlook the need to protect certain aspects of our lives from the scrutiny of others. In a world where sharing has become second nature, where social media encourages us to display every corner of our existence, it's easy to forget the value of discretion and the power of keeping certain things private. There are parts of our lives that are too personal, too delicate, or too significant to share carelessly. Let me shed light on 5 such areas we should be cautious about sharing: our dreams, our values, our financial situation, our fears, and the details of our intimate relationships. Life is a journey filled with challenges and uncertainties. Each person carries their own set of struggles and vulnerabilities. When we disclose our struggles, we open a window into our innermost world. This window, however, personal struggles are often complex and multi-layered, not easily understood even by those closest to us. The nuances of our emotional and psychological battles may defy articulation, leaving others to interpret them through their own biases and limited perspectives. This misinterpretation can distort the nature of our struggles, turning them into something they are not. For example, a moment of self-doubt shared with the wrong person could be misconstrued as weakness, potentially altering how that person perceives us in the future. There is also the question of timing. Struggles that are still raw or unresolved may not be ready for public consumption. Sharing them prematurely can hinder our own process of understanding and resolving these issues. It is during these vulnerable periods that we are most impressionable, and external opinions, however well-meaning, can influence our thinking in ways that may not be beneficial. The advice or feedback we receive might be misaligned with our needs or values, leading us further from resolution rather than closer to it. It is also important to consider the impact of oversharing on our sense of autonomy and self-respect. When we share too much, too often we risk becoming dependent on external validation or support. While it is natural to seek solace in others, relying too heavily on this can erode our ability to self-soothe and manage our emotions independently. This can create a cycle of dependency that undermines our confidence in our own resilience and problem-solving capabilities. Another critical factor to consider is the environment in which we choose to share our struggles. Social media, for instance, has become a platform where many people feel compelled to broadcast their challenges and hardships. While this may generate immediate attention or sympathy, it often lacks the depth and authenticity of real human connection. Furthermore, the public nature of such platforms means that once our struggles are shared, they are no longer ours alone. They become subject to public scrutiny, commentary, and even ridicule. This loss of control over our narrative can be deeply unsettling and counterproductive. Protecting our struggles does not mean suppressing them or isolating ourselves from others. On the contrary, it is about recognizing the value of our experiences and treating them with the care and respect they deserve. It is about discerning who has earned the right to hear our stories and understanding that not every listener is a safe or suitable one. Trusted confidants, such as close friends, family members, or therapists, can provide the support and understanding we need without compromising our sense of security or self-worth. In a world that often celebrates openness and transparency, it can feel counterintuitive to withhold parts of ourselves. However, discretion is not a sign of weakness or mistrust. It is a demonstration of wisdom and self-awareness. By carefully choosing what to share and with whom, we preserve the sanctity of our personal struggles, allowing ourselves the space to heal, grow, and emerge stronger. Dreams and aspirations are among the most intimate and profound aspects of a person's identity. They represent not just the goals we aim to achieve, but also the essence of who we are and who we strive to become. Dreams are born from our deepest desires, shaped by our unique experiences, and fueled by the imagination of what could be. Aspirations, on the other hand, are the manifestations of these dreams in the form of plans, ambitions, and the pursuit of meaningful accomplishments. Together, they form the compass that guides us through life, providing direction and purpose. However, their very essence also makes them fragile and therefore something to guard carefully. When we share our dreams with others, we expose a part of ourselves that is often still in its formative stages. Dreams are not just ideas, they are deeply personal reflections of our values, hopes, and individuality. At their inception, they are delicate, like a seedling that requires the right environment to grow. Sharing them too soon can expose them to harsh conditions, criticism, skepticism, or even indifference that can stunt their growth or extinguish them altogether. Not everyone will see the potential in our dreams as we do, and their inability to grasp the significance of our aspirations can lead to discouragement. The reaction of others to our dreams is often shaped by their own limitations, insecurities, and experiences. A person who has faced repeated failures or abandoned their own dreams may unconsciously project their doubts onto us. They might question the feasibility of our goals or point out the obstacles that lie ahead, framing our aspirations as unrealistic or naive. While some of this feedback may come from a place of concern or practicality, it can also reflect their inability to envision what we see so clearly. These responses, if internalized, can create self-doubt and erode the confidence necessary to pursue our goals. Sharing dreams prematurely can also shift the focus from the internal to the external. Dreams are deeply personal. Their fulfillment often requires a quiet, persistent effort that is unshaken by external opinions. When we share them too openly, we risk seeking validation or approval from others, which can alter the nature of our aspirations. Instead of pursuing our goals because they are meaningful to us, we may unconsciously begin to seek achievement as a way to gain acceptance or prove something to others. This external pressure can distort the purity of our dreams, making them less about personal fulfillment and more about meeting external expectations. Furthermore, sharing dreams with the wrong audience can leave them vulnerable to ridicule or exploitation. Not everyone will approach our aspirations with goodwill or encouragement. There are those who might dismiss them out of jealousy, misunderstanding, or malice. Some might even seek to use our ideas for their own benefit, capitalizing on our vision without contributing to its realization. Such experiences can be disheartening and may lead us to question whether our dreams are worth pursuing at all. The act of protecting our dreams is not about secrecy, but about discernment. It involves recognizing the value of our aspirations and understanding that not everyone is entitled to share in them. Dreams are a sacred part of our identity, and they deserve to be nurtured in environments that are supportive and constructive. By choosing carefully whom to confide in, we create a space where our aspirations can flourish, free from unnecessary interference or negativity. It is also worth noting that dreams often evolve over time. As we gain new experiences and insights, our aspirations may shift, expand, or take on new dimensions. Sharing them too early can lock us into a fixed narrative, making it harder to adapt or refine our goals as we grow. Allowing ourselves the freedom to dream privately enables us to explore the full potential of our aspirations without feeling constrained by external expectations or judgments. In this process, the power of action cannot be overstated. Dreams are not meant to remain as abstract ideas, they are meant to be pursued and realized. Actions speak louder than words, and the quiet, determined pursuit of our goals often communicates our aspirations more effectively than any verbal expression ever could. It is through our efforts and achievements that our dreams take shape, becoming tangible and undeniable. Values and beliefs form the foundation of who we are as individuals. They are the guiding principles that influence our decisions, shape our behaviors, and determine how we interact with the world around us. These deeply held convictions are cultivated through a combination of personal experiences, cultural upbringing, and individual reflection. They represent what we hold to be true and essential, acting as the compass that steers us through the complexities of life. Because of their profound significance, they deserve to be treated with care and discretion. Sharing our values and beliefs with others can be a meaningful way to connect, but it is not without risks. In a diverse and often polarized world, differences in values can lead to misunderstandings, disagreements, and even conflict. Not everyone will share our perspectives or appreciate the reasoning behind our convictions. This can result in debates that are not constructive, but rather antagonistic, leaving us feeling defensive or invalidated. It is important to recognize that some discussions may not lead to mutual understanding, especially when the other party approaches them with rigid preconceptions or an unwillingness to listen. Values and beliefs are often tied to our sense of identity, making them particularly vulnerable to criticism. When someone challenges or dismisses our deeply held principles, it can feel like a personal attack. This is especially true if the critique comes from someone we respect or care about. Such situations can leave us questioning ourselves, even if our values remain just as valid as before. The emotional toll of these interactions can be significant, causing stress and potentially straining relationships. Another consideration is the context in which values are shared. Public discussions or casual conversations may not provide the depth or nuance needed to convey the full meaning of our beliefs. Complex ideas can be oversimplified, misunderstood, or misrepresented, leading to unintended consequences. For instance, a value rooted in compassion may be misinterpreted as naivety, or a belief in self-reliance may be misconstrued as a lack of empathy. These misunderstandings can distort the essence of what we stand for and lead to judgments that do not accurately reflect our character. It is also worth noting that values and beliefs are dynamic. As we grow and learn, our perspectives may evolve, and the principles we once held firmly may take on new dimensions. Sharing them prematurely or in unsuitable contexts can lock us into positions that feel difficult to adjust later. This rigidity can hinder our personal growth and limit our ability to explore new perspectives or ideas. Furthermore, sharing intimate details invites external opinions and judgments. Friends, family, or acquaintances may feel entitled to offer advice or critique based on the information you've shared, even if they lack a complete understanding of your relationship's dynamics. These opinions, while sometimes well-intentioned, are often influenced by personal biases or limited perspectives. They can add unnecessary pressure or conflict, especially if their views conflict with your own or your partner's. This external influence can erode the sense of autonomy and unity that is essential in a healthy relationship. Finally, maintaining discretion about intimate details allows the relationship to grow organically, free from unnecessary interference or scrutiny. Relationships are complex and require time, patience, and understanding to evolve. When you keep these details private, you create a safe space where both partners can work through challenges and celebrate joys without external influence. This sense of privacy fosters a deeper connection and strengthens the bond, ensuring that the relationship remains a source of support and comfort for both individuals involved. Fears and insecurities often emerge from the most sensitive areas of our psyche, areas that we may not have fully understood or resolved. Sharing them prematurely or with the wrong people can leave us vulnerable to judgment or misunderstanding. Not everyone has the emotional intelligence or empathy to respond in a way that is supportive and constructive. Some may dismiss these fears as trivial, invalidating our feelings and making us question the legitimacy of our experiences. Others might use this information against us intentionally or unintentionally to manipulate or undermine us in moments of weakness. There is also the risk that revealing too much about our fears and insecurities can alter the dynamics of our relationships. When we open up about these aspects of ourselves, we often seek understanding, reassurance, or connection. However, if the person we confide in is not prepared to handle the weight of our disclosures, it can strain the relationship. They might feel overwhelmed or unsure of how to respond, leading to awkwardness or distance. In some cases, they might unintentionally perpetuate our insecurities by offering advice or perspectives that fail to address the root of the issue. It's also important to recognize the emotional component of financial discussions. Money is often tied to our self-esteem and identity, making it a particularly sensitive subject. Sharing financial challenges, for example, can evoke feelings of shame or inadequacy, even if these feelings are unwarranted. Similarly, discussing financial success might lead to feelings of guilt or isolation, particularly if those around you are facing economic difficulties. Ultimately, the way you handle your financial disclosures reflects your awareness of the power dynamics and emotional undercurrents that accompany discussions about money. By choosing when, where, and with whom to share your financial situation, you protect not only your resources, but also the relationships and sense of self that money influences. Discretion in financial matters allows you to focus on achieving your goals and maintaining balance, free from the distractions and complications that unwarranted transparency can bring. Intimate relationships are among the most profound and personal aspects of human life. They are built on trust, vulnerability, and shared experiences that bind two individuals in a deeply meaningful connection. These relationships thrive in an environment of mutual respect and confidentiality, where both partners feel secure to express themselves without fear of external judgment or interference. Sharing intimate details about such relationships with others, however, can jeopardize this foundation and lead to unintended consequences that may harm the bond. When you disclose private details about your relationship, you are not just sharing your own story, you are sharing a story that involves someone else. This breach of privacy can feel like a betrayal to your partner, especially if they value discretion or were not consulted before the disclosure. Intimate details, whether about disagreements, vulnerabilities, or moments of affection, are shared between partners with an unspoken understanding of confidentiality. Breaking that trust by revealing these moments to others can create feelings of insecurity and resentment, potentially straining the relationship. Another significant risk of sharing intimate details is the potential for misinterpretation. What may seem like a minor disagreement or a playful interaction to you can be exaggerated or misunderstood when recounted to someone else. This misrepresentation can distort how others perceive your relationship, leading to unwarranted concerns or even gossip. Over time, these distorted perceptions can affect not only your reputation but also how you view your own relationship, as you might begin to internalize the external narrative. Fears and insecurities are not static, they evolve over time as we grow and gain new experiences. Sharing them in their raw form, without the context of personal growth or reflection, can freeze them in the minds of others. This can lead to a fixed perception of who we are, making it harder for us to move past these challenges. For instance, a fear of failure shared in a moment of vulnerability might lead others to see us as overly cautious or lacking confidence, even after we've worked to overcome that fear. Another consideration is the cultural and societal expectations surrounding vulnerability. In many contexts, admitting fears or insecurities can be perceived as a sign of weakness, especially in competitive or judgmental environments. Sharing these aspects of ourselves in such settings can impact how others view our competence or reliability. This is particularly relevant in professional or social circles where appearances and impressions often hold significant weight. It's also worth acknowledging the internal impact of sharing fears and insecurities. Speaking about these aspects of ourselves can sometimes make them feel more real or pressing than they actually are. Repeatedly verbalizing our fears can reinforce their presence in our minds, making it harder to distance ourselves from them or see them in a more rational light. This can create a cycle where the act of sharing intensifies rather than alleviates the emotional weight of these struggles. This does not mean that fears and insecurities should always be hidden. There are moments in relationships where sharing them can lead to profound connection and healing. Trusted confidants, such as close friends, family members, or therapists, can provide a safe space to explore these vulnerabilities without judgment or exploitation. The key lies in discernment, understanding when and with whom it is appropriate to share. Not everyone earns the right to hear the most fragile parts of our story, and safeguarding these aspects of ourselves is an act of self-respect. Protecting our values and beliefs does not mean avoiding meaningful conversations or shutting ourselves off from differing viewpoints. Rather, it means being intentional about when, where, and with whom we choose to share these aspects of ourselves. Trusted individuals who approach discussions with openness and respect can provide valuable insights and foster mutual understanding. However, it is equally important to recognize when withholding our values in a given context serves a greater purpose, allowing us to maintain our peace and focus on living in alignment with what we truly stand for. Financial matters are among the most personal and sensitive aspects of life. They reflect not only our ability to meet basic needs and pursue ambitions, but also our choices, priorities, and circumstances. Discussions about finances, while sometimes necessary, should be approached with caution, as revealing too much about one's financial situation can have unintended consequences. Money, while a practical resource, carries a weight of emotional and social implications that often go unspoken but deeply influence how others perceive and interact with us. Sharing details about your financial situation, whether it involves wealth, debt, or challenges, can expose you to a range of risks. On one hand, revealing financial struggles can invite judgment or unsolicited advice from those who may not fully understand the complexity of your circumstances. People often have preconceived notions about financial success and responsibility, and sharing your situation can lead to assumptions that are inaccurate or unfair. This judgment can erode your confidence and create a sense of vulnerability, especially if you are already navigating the stress of financial uncertainty. On the other hand, sharing information about financial success or abundance can also create problems. Discussions about money can provoke envy, resentment, or unrealistic expectations from others. For instance, individuals who perceive you as financially well off may begin to treat you differently, either by distancing themselves or by expecting you to provide financial support. Relationships that were once based on mutual respect and genuine connection can become strained when money enters the equation. This is particularly true in cultures or communities where financial disparities are a source of tension. Beyond interpersonal dynamics, sharing financial details can also expose you to practical risks. In professional settings, revealing too much about your financial status can impact negotiations, promotions, or how colleagues perceive your value within the organization. In personal context, it can make you a target for exploitation. There are individuals who knowingly or unknowingly might take advantage of your financial openness by asking for loans, favors, or assistance that they might not have otherwise considered appropriate. Another consideration is the impact that discussing finances can have on your sense of security and privacy. Money is not just a tool for transactions, it represents freedom, opportunity, and stability. Sharing details about your finances, especially with those who do not have your best interests at heart, can compromise your ability to maintain these aspects of your life. For instance, disclosing a financial windfall might lead to unwanted attention, while sharing struggles could diminish how others perceive your capability or independence. Maintaining discretion about your financial situation is not about secrecy or mistrust, it is about self-respect and prudence. It involves understanding that financial matters are complex and deeply personal, requiring thoughtful consideration before sharing. When discussions about money are necessary, such as with financial advisors, trusted partners, or family members, it's crucial to approach these conversations with clarity and boundaries. Sharing only what is relevant and necessary ensures that your privacy and integrity remain intact while fostering productive dialogue. It's also important to recognize the emotional impact that sharing intimate details can have on your partner. Relationships are deeply personal, and when private moments are exposed to others, it can make your partner feel vulnerable or disrespected. This can lead to a breakdown in communication and trust, as your partner may hesitate to be open with you, fearing that their words or actions could be shared beyond the confines of the relationship. Fears and insecurities are a natural part of the human experience. They reflect the vulnerabilities we carry and the challenges we face in navigating an unpredictable world. These internal struggles can arise from past experiences, unmet expectations, or the pressures of future uncertainties. While they play a significant role in shaping our behavior and decisions, they are also deeply personal aspects of our inner lives. Sharing them indiscriminately can have unintended consequences that may amplify rather than alleviate their impact.